And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another week of live streaming high school football here on ITG Next. I'm your play-by-play man, Phil Jones. Thanks so much for being along with us tonight. We've got a good one here tonight from Panther Stadium in Fairburn, the home of the defending Class 6A state champion Langston Hughes Panthers, as they host the McEachern Indians of first-year head coach, Kareem Reed. I've got Mr. Producer Sean Perry going to be working the video and pushing all the buttons for your vantage point for tonight's game. So you guys sit back and enjoy tonight's Week 2 live stream of our year-long 2023 Game of the Week package that we're going to bring to you all year long here at ITG Next and our Facebook Live streaming. Our games tonight and all season long going to be brought to you by our friends at Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. I want to thank our friends at Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance for sponsoring not only tonight's live broadcast, but our entire 2023 season package of live streaming games. So these two teams come in after their season openers last week and really come in with one team with a world of confidence at their back. Another team, that being McEachern, thought they were going to have a good bit of confidence coming into this game after a large lead against Brookwood in their opening game in the Corky Kell Classic last week, slipped away from them. McEachern led that game 20-7, but were held scoreless for the entire last quarter and a half. 18 minutes, the Indians went scoreless, and they wind up losing a heartbreaker 21-20 to the Brookwood Broncos last week. For the Langston Hughes Panthers, it was a completely different story. In fact, you can kind of flip those scripts as Langston Hughes trailed the Carrollton Trojans in Carrollton. Langston Hughes got down in that game 22-7. In fact, that was a first quarter lead that Carrollton had jumped out to. But then here comes Hughes roaring back. In fact, they reel off 26 consecutive points to go up 33-22 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Then Carrollton comes storming back. They score consecutive touchdowns to retake the lead, 34-33. And then in a scenario that is becoming all too familiar for not only Panther fans but football fans all over the state, Aaron Nolan once again gets it done. Late game heroics from the Ohio State commit as his 25-yard touchdown pass to Giovanni McKee in the final minute of the game gives the Langston Hughes Panthers the opening season win in exciting fashion and in comeback fashion, 39-34 over the hometown Carrollton Trojans. What a game that was last week to open the season. Our Week 1 game last week was also a great one. We were in Lee County bringing you Lee County Warner Robins, and in that one, again, I guess it was kind of the theme all around the state with teams coming from behind. Lee County was behind 16-7 at the half. They come back and they defeat Warner Robins at home last week. And so we're hoping that we're going to have win, lose, or draw yet another exciting game for you tonight here in Fairburn. Of course, I don't have to tell you guys, it doesn't feel like football weather, not even close. We're at about 97 degrees approaching kickoff. And we're in a press box with no air conditioner, very little moving air, and it is an absolute oven in here, to put it mildly. But we're going to get through it, and hopefully things are going to cool down a little bit as we move forward tonight here in this game. Hopefully, mercifully, the sun will begin to set in the western sky, and we will get football going here tonight. A little bit of history on these teams. Of course, again, if you kind of keep up with high school football, you know the story with Langston Hughes Well, they have really come on strong the last few years under head coach Daniel Boone Williams. Coach Boone is how they refer to him. What a great guy. He has been super good to us here at ITG Next. Welcomed us with open arms. He and athletic director Willie Cannon welcomed us with open arms here at Langston Hughes, and we thank them for having us here tonight. Of course, for Coach Boone, this is his 5th season as the head coach, his 10th season overall on the coaching staff at Langston Hughes. And to be honest with you, his arrival, coupled with the arrival and the emergence of Prentice Air Nolan, has been the difference in this Langston Hughes team over the last 3 seasons and including this season. I'll take you back to the 2020 season when Langston Hughes only won 2-3 games. Then they come back 2021. They improved to 7-5. In 2022, 13-2. That was the heartbreaking loss to Buford in the state championship game. Last year, they defeat Gainesville 35-28 in the Class 6A state championship game to cap off a perfect 15-0 season. They finished 7-0 and region champs in Region 5-6A. But what a turnaround this Langston Hughes Panthers team has made, again, with the dynamic duo of head coach Daniel Boone Williams and Prentice Air Nolan. Now, truthfully, it's a lot more supporting cast on this Hughes team. Jacob Good, he's a defensive back heading to Alabama, senior defensive back. You've got Dorian Page, running back, is a senior.
Please stand for the national anthem.
And then you've got Amir Glenn heading to West Virginia. He's a big defensive lineman. Probably going to be calling his name and number a lot here tonight. All right, they're asking everyone here in the stadium to stand, and a moment of silence for tonight's pregame speech and the national anthem. And we are going to also take a moment of silence here while we enjoy the national anthem. We'll be right back with more football here in just a moment. playing of our national anthem, one of the best ones ever done by the late, great Whitney Houston. It is going to be an absolute scorcher here tonight. Already a scorcher here tonight. Again, I mentioned earlier, kickoff probably going to be around 96, 97 degrees. It was up to 98 at about 6:45 when we last checked. And it is only going to get hotter in here tonight. So hopefully it will cool down on the field for the teams, and they can get this thing going here tonight here in just a minute. We are about a couple of minutes away from kickoff for tonight's game. Again, want to remind you, big thanks to our friends at Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. In fact, Baker Sports want to welcome all football fanatics. Friday Night Lights 2023 is finally here. Brought to you by Baker Sports and Pro Sports. Together, serve as your one-stop destination for top-quality sports equipment. Whether you're a player or a passionate fan, Baker's has got you covered. Remember to call Baker's at 904-388-8126 for all your sporting good needs. Now, get ready to enjoy this gridiron spectacle of a game. And for our other sponsor, Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, want to salute South Fulton, Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance agents, Justin Moore, Frank Hall, and Lysette Romero. But remember, no matter where you live, you can find a Georgia Farm Bureau agency near you. Simply go to their website at www.gfb.org. That's www.gfb for GeorgiaFarmBureau.org to find an agent near you. Should be a good one here tonight. We've got the coin toss going on at the middle of the field. Again, Langston Hughes riding a 16-game winning streak. You going back to the 15 straight last year. And then, of course, the one last week. Boy, it was a big one. Nationally televised game and the win over the mighty Carrollton Trojans. Now, there is a thing to point out here. Unfortunately, for McEachern, their leading back, sophomore running back Jerrion Campbell, was injured early in the Brookwood game. He missed the rest of that game, went out early in the first quarter, missed the second, third, and fourth quarter. When he departed the game, Jerrion, also known as JJ, had 10 carries for 57 yards, and you got to wonder what could have been had Jerrion not gone out in that game. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, but more importantly, the McEachern Indians are not going to have his services tonight for this important game. And I was talking with some of the folks from McEachern. They admit that one is going to hurt. Now, to try to make up a little bit for his absence, you can expect to see Seth Parker get some carries tonight at running back. Also, linebacker Shamar Hall for the Indians also going to get some carries at running back tonight for the Kareem Reed-led McEachern Indians. Kareem Reed coming over from Griffin in the offseason. Franklin Stevens goes over to Burke County. Franklin Stevens, the former McEachern coach, goes to Burke County, and that opened the door for the Indians administration to bring Kareem Reed in here and trying to get the Indians, a long-standing, proud, winning organization in the state of Georgia, Class 7A program that they are. 7-5 2 years ago was McEachern. They make the playoffs. They make it to the second round of the playoffs. Last year, they fought a 4-6, 1-3 in region play in 3-7A. These two teams met a year ago at McEachern, with Hughes winning that one 47-21. We're getting set to go here. Not a bad crowd assembling considering the weather conditions. McEachern across the way. Going to be in their, I don't know, maybe call it Georgia Tech looking unis. The Indians going to be in their top whites, the gold bottoms, the gold helmets trimmed in blue. In fact, those helmets, solid gold. The home-standing Hughes Panthers. You may refer to them as Langston Hughes. They prefer to go by Hughes. They're in the all-black with golden numerals and the green LH on the side. By the way, at ITG Next, Prentice Nolan, Ayer's dad, sent me a Langston Hughes helmet a couple of years ago. He sent it to us UPS, and glad to call Prentice Air Nolan, friends of ITG Next, and we are set to get it underway. Going to be a short kick taken by the McEachern up man at the 30. He'll bring it across the 30 up to about the 33, 34. And that's where the Indians are going to put it in play. 1st and 10, going right to left here, going south to north here at Panther Stadium. Guys, sit back, enjoy the air conditioning, relax, and enjoy tonight's game. We're going to see Jaden Kinney. He was 18 for 27, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Good-looking quarterback last week against Brookwood. And he'll come out tonight. I'll say under center. He'll actually be in the gun. He'll be in the gun pretty much all night. Lined up off his left hip is going to be DeMarcus Cleves. He got the majority of the carries last week. And here we go. Cleves going to get the carry. He stutter steps. Going to get pretty good gain there up to about the 38-yard line. Give him about 4 yards on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 6. McEachern going to go with tempo, no huddle. They'll split a man out wide. They're going to bring up 3 trips over here to the near side. Single back, that remains Cleves. He's going to get the majority of the carry in place of the injured Jarion Campbell tonight for McEachern. And we got whistles now. Check the call. We're going to get an offsides on Hughes. And that'll move it up 5 yards. And that will give McEachern an easy 1st down. So here's the Indians. 1st down now at their own 43. Handoff going to go to Cleves. Running room right up the middle. There goes Cleves taking it to the Hughes 45.
1st down for the Indians.
Gain of about 13 yards that time for Cleves. It's another 1st down for the Indians. They're coming out on offense, just running it right at the heart of this Panthers defensive line. 1st and 10 for McEachern. Jaden Kinney, senior quarterback. Going to go up, going to change the play. He'll come back and take the snap, wants to throw. Looks, they're setting up the screen. Complete. He's got a lot of running room. 40, inside the 35, down to the 35. Going to be close to another McEachern 1st down. So McEachern coaching staff changed the play from a running play to a screen pass that time. They saw something, they liked it, and it's going to be yet another McEachern 1st down. Here are the Indians moving the football right to left, now at the Hughes 35. McEachern looking for some early game momentum here. No score just underway at Panther Stadium in Fairburn. Kinney, the quarterback. Man in motion now from right to left. Kinney going to hand it to Cleves. Another big run. Close to another 1st down for Cleves. He has been just gashing this Hughes defense early here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Boone take a timeout and maybe trying to gather his troops. Actually going to get an official timeout as we've got an injured Panther on the field. So while they check on the injured Langston Hughes Panther, that'll give us a chance to, again, tell you about our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Again, they're South Fulton. Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance Agency in Palmetto with agents Justin Moore, Frank Hall, and Lisette Romero. But you can find a Georgia Farm Bureau agency near you. All you got to do is go to their website, www.gfb.org, to find an agent near you. Just simply insert your zip code, or you can pull down the menu, find your local city, and find an agent near you who can service you with all of your insurance needs. All right, so injured player helped off the field. And we are set to go again here now. Second down and less than a yard for McEachern. Cleaves, the running back. He's gotten all the carries. 2 receivers far side, 2 here to the near side. They've been in the same set since the opening snap. McEachern giving the hand signals to Kenny. Relays it to his team. He'll take the snap. Going to hand it to the back, DeMarcus Cleaves again. And he's going to go for a first down. Needed about a yard, and he gets a couple. So far, so good. If you're a McEachern fan, they've moved the ball. They started in pretty good field position around their own 33 after a short kick. And they've moved it steadily down the field, eating clock, eating yardage. All running plays except for one pass play. That was a screen pass. Here they go. 1st and 10 inside the Langston Hughes 25. Kenny going to hand it again.
Rush on the play.
About 3 yards on that far side from DeMarcus Cleaves again. Their primary back, sophomore running back Jerrion Campbell, was injured last week. He's got numerous Division I offers, does Campbell, but he's not in the game tonight. But so far, give DeMarcus Cleaves credit. He's done a more than admirable job of filling in. Pass play for McEachern. Kenny looks, throws it across the middle, almost intercepted.
Intercepted by number 70, Xavier Leonard.
Almost intercepted that time by Xavier Leonard, the senior linebacker. Had his hands on it, couldn't pull it in.
Third down and 7 for the Indians.
So McEachern going to a pass play that time, trying to catch him a little off guard after running it at will so far. Let's see if McEachern decides to go back to the run here on 3rd and we'll call it 8. Needed for the first. No score, just underway. 8:30 left to go in the opening quarter. Split backs on either side of Kenny, who will take the snap. They are going to run it. Going to get away from one would-be Langston Hughes tackler, and there goes the running back. Going to run him out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a first down. So McEachern on 3rd and long, they decide to run it. Getting the carry that time, Shamar Hall. We told you earlier that he may get some carries tonight. He got that carry, and he got a first down. Here comes McEachern now. They're 1st and 10. I think they can still get a first down without scoring, just outside the 10. Kenny going to take. They're going to hand it. And there goes number 24, DeMarcus Cleaves, into the end zone for a McEachern touchdown. So McEachern takes the opening kick from the 33 of their own 33, and they drive it 67 yards for the opening score. A 12-yard touchdown run by the man that really did all the damage that time for McEachern. DeMarcus Cleaves punches it in for the touchdown. And the extra point now, no good. It's been blocked. Extra point blocked by Langston Hughes. But I'm sure many of you probably wondering what's going on. Many people thinking that, and it's still a long way to go, but give McEachern credit. They've come out and they have taken the opening drive 67 yards, and again, punching it in after a strong rushing attack all the way down the field, primarily from DeMarcus Cleves. He takes it in from 12 yards out to give McEachern the opening lead 6-0 here from Panther Stadium. So now we're going to see the kickoff coming here from McEachern. And here we go. There's the kick. End-over-end kick, taking it the 6-yard line. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Still on his feet to the 35-yard line. That was number 2 for Langston Hughes, Giovanni Chi McGee, the junior, on a big run. Took it from the 6 all the way out. See where they spot this at the 35-yard line, so about a 29-yard kickoff return. Jonathan Rodriguez, the kicker for McEachern. All right, so here we go. We'll see Langston Hughes now on offense for the first time tonight, and the great one, Aaron Nolan, the quarterback. In the backfield for Hughes, going to be Justice Savage. He's a good one. Pass complete on a slant. And he dropped it. He had it in his hands, did Xavier Tiller, the sophomore, and he let it get away from him. Incomplete.
At quarterback for the Panthers, number 1, Aaron Nolan.
All right, so here comes Langston Hughes now after the incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10. Hughes with the ball at their own 35-yard line. We're just underway, opening quarter. Aaron Nolan, the Ohio State commit, going to take it. Going to hand it to Savage, looking for some running room. He'll have a couple of yards off the left side.
Rush on the play by
Number 21, Justice Savage. He is a senior. We'll call his name a good bit tonight. And he'll take it. Let's see, going to give him the spot at the 39. So a gain of 4 yards. Going to bring up 3rd and 6. 7:38, 7:37, 7:36 and counting. Opening quarter here at Langston Hughes. I'm Phil Jones. McEachern leads it 6-0 if you just joined us. Nolan with 2 receivers far side, 2 here to the near side, 1 back. That's Savage. Nolan, straight drop. Heavy rush. He's going to get brought down. It's a sack. Nolan is sacked back inside the 30.
Daniel Jones.
That was Daniel James making the quarterback sack that time. James on the sack. A rare sack of the elusive Aaron Nolan, not able to get away from the McEachern defender. So it's going to be 4th and about 17. And Hughes going to be a punting situation here. McEachern should wind up with pretty good field position. That's James who's back there to return the punt, the man that came up with the quarterback sack. Here's the snap, the punt. Going to take a pretty good Panther roll, and it'll roll dead at about the 45-yard line. So McEachern will wind up with good field position for their second offensive drive of the night. Xavier Tiller, the punter for McEachern. Baker Sports and Pro Sports are proud to be the presenting sponsor between McEachern and Hughes tonight. Athletes and fans alike, between Bakers and Pro Sports, you can get your gear covered from cheerleading to football to fans. We are a one-stop shop for top-quality sports apparel and equipment. Call us at 904-388-8126. That's 904-388-8126 for all your sporting good needs. Official timeout here. So, again, a little bit of a surprise. McEachern taking the opening drive. They've had good field position now for both of their offensive possessions. They started up at their own 34. Was able to take it the 67 yards for the opening drive and the opening touchdown. It coming on a 12-yard touchdown run by DeMarcus Cleaves, who got just about every one of the runs except for a key third down run that came from Shamar Hall. Now, he's a defensive back, but I talked to the McEachern coaching staff before the game. They told me that Hall would be given some carries tonight, and we've already seen that happen. Also, look for Seth Parker to get some carries tonight also for McEachern. So after the official timeout, McEachern will have it in good field position at their own 40. Now they're going to say it's spotted at the 46. So McEachern, 4 yards shy of midfield. They've got it. First down, quick toss, far side, complete. There goes the receiver. Running room after the catch. Going to take it all the way down inside the Hughes 40.
That pass is good enough for an Indians first down.
Going to go for 18 yards on the first down pass. And right now, McEachern is moving it at will.
37 yards.
There's Cleaves going to get the carry. This time they're going to stuff him for no gain. He'll lose a yard. So there's the first negative yardage play of the night for McEachern. It'll bring up second down and 10. Listen, don't think Hughes is going to panic. They were down 22-7 last week, and they came roaring back with no problem.
We have a flag on the play.
Penalty flag on the play. Going to get a false start
False start
on McEachern.
on the offense.
It is a hot one tonight, guys. It is smoldering here at Panther Stadium. Here's the drop, screen pass, right side, complete. They'll get it back up to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to set them up with a third down and about 10.
Also there for the Panthers.
We'll call it third and 9. Actually got it back about a yard inside the sticks.
4 minutes and 53
So here we go
seconds
now,
in the first
McEachern,
quarter.
third down. Again, 6-0 your score. We're getting late here in the first quarter. 4:40 to go in the game. In the first quarter. Third down, big third down play here for McEachern. They want to keep this drive going. Cleaves on the carry. There he goes. Going to be hit right at the first down. I think he got it. DeMarcus Cleaves. They run a draw on third and about a 9.5. And he's right at the first down marker. They may have to measure. Let's see what we get.
That run is good enough for an Indians first down.
No, it's a first down. It's a McEachern first down. So a big-time run on third and long. McEachern decides to run it.
We have a player down on the field.
We've got a player down on the field again. We're going to see if we can check the number. It is a McEachern player down. Looks like they're tending to his knee, lower leg. Let's just hope it's a cramp. Training staff out there tending to the player who is down. That'll give us a chance to tell you about our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau. Big thanks to our local South Fulton Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance Agency up here in the Fairburn area. Also, don't forget, for those of you in the Douglasville area, anywhere in South Fulton, Be sure to check out the Palmetto, South Fulton, Georgia Farm Bureau office with agents Justin Moore, Frank Hall, and Lysette Romero. Of course, no matter where you are, you can check out any available Georgia Farm Bureau agent near you. Just go to their website, www.gfb.org. That's www.gfb.org. So the injured player on the field. Looks like it was either if that's DeMarcus Cleaves, that's the running back, and that is not what you want. He has been the workhorse here tonight. Let's keep an eye on that. Goodness. Running back, number 14, gets the carry. Again, that's Shamar Hall. Boy, let's keep an eye. And let's hope DeMarcus Cleaves is okay. Remember, McEachern is already missing their top running back and sophomore running back, Jerrion Campbell. Second down after the yard gain. And we got a penalty flag. Going to be another false start. I think that's the second false start of the night. For McEachern. So McEachern leads at 6-0, but penalties have hurt the Indians tonight. 3:42 left to go in the opening quarter. McEachern leads at 6-0. Second down and long after the timeout, or after the penalty, rather. Quick pass, left side, incomplete. It was intended for number 88, Ivan Kynes, the big senior tight end. Again, number 24, DeMarcus Cleaves, the running back. We're going to see if he's able to return. Right now, you've got McEachern without their top two running backs. Shamar Hall, defensive back, is getting some carries, and he is their primary back right now. And he's the lone back in the backfield. Kenny takes the snap. Going to throw it long. Had a man open, but he overshoots him. Incomplete. That was James, who had two corners, two defensive backs running step for step with him, though. And so McEachern's drive is going to go for naught. Now, McEachern's going to go for a long field goal. The hold's going to come at the 38. It'll be a 48-yard field goal attempt here by McEachern's Jonathan Rodriguez. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick. It's on its way. It's good. Rodriguez just nailed a 48-yard field goal. Are you kidding me?
And the field goal is good.
Wow. Jonathan Rodriguez, a junior kicker, also handles the punting duties for McEachern. He just nailed a 48-yard field goal. And that's going to stretch the Indians' lead to 9-0. 3:14 to go, opening quarter. Now again, and I hate to keep reiterating this, but let's keep an eye on DeMarcus Cleaves. The running back went down in that last series. And I don't know his status, but again, he was already pushed into action because of the injury the week before in the Brookwood game to primary back Jerrion Campbell. So going to have to keep an eye on that. Obviously, we hope that young man Cleaves is able to make it back tonight. Rodriguez, after booting that 48-yard field goal, is set to kick it off. Here he is approaching the ball. High end over end kick, taking it the 1 yard line. Running room, look out. Big return, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. It's a touchdown. And just like that, Langston Hughes strikes. On a 99-yard kickoff return.
And just like that, the Panthers are on the board. That return was by number 11, Dorian Page.
Wow. What a kick return. Number 11, Dorian Trey Page, the senior. Took it at the 1 yard line, and he just exploded.
Extra point.
99 yards for the score. The point after attempt is up. It's good. And so the Panthers answer, and they're back in it. It's now 9-7 McEachern. Wow, what a game. Guys, want to remind you, Baker Sports and Pro Sports are proud to partner with ITG Next and sponsor tonight's football game. From athletes to fans, Baker's has got your apparel and sporting equipment needs covered. Thank you for all enjoying Friday Night Lights with us tonight. And don't forget, call Baker's at 904-388-8126 for any of your future equipment needs. That's Baker Sports and Pro Sports, proud to partner with ITG Next, sponsoring tonight's football game. Also, big thanks goes out to Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Look for an agency near you at the Georgia Farm Bureau website, gfb.org.
Return for the Indians.
Here's the Indians now on the return. Nice return. I think that was Daniel James again. And thankfully, somebody has brought out, I think it's the Langston Hughes coaches that have brought out a fan, and we're getting a little bit of that, and we'll take any bit of that relief we can get. In fact, I'm going to back it up a little bit so I can catch some of that. Wow. It's just an oven up here, guys. No air conditioning in the press box, very little airflow. Hey, we're glad to be here, but it is smoking hot.
Tackle made by a host of Panthers.
Short gain that time on McEachern.
Number 6, Jordan Thompson. Also there for the Panthers, number 31.
All right, and now, and by the way, that was again number 14, Shamara Hall. Now we're going to see Caden Johnson come into the game to run the football. Again, McEachern without their top 2 running backs. Second and long for the Indians. Play action, throw across the middle, complete, and a big hit.
Big hit by number 3.
Number 3 for Langston Hughes, Jacob Good. I don't know if it's good or good. Anyway, he's a big-time hitter.
3rd down and 2 for the Indians.
Heading to Alabama, and you can see he's Division I SEC ready. But give the receiver credit. He was able to hang on to it, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2 for McEachern. Trips to that far side. One receiver here near side. McEachern using these long snap counts, using a lot of play clock, slowing it all down. They lead at 9-7. Handoff. No. Quarterback decided to pull it out of the ball carrier's belly. Probably was not a good decision. That time it was actually a loss of 4 yards on the play, and so McEachern with a third down. Probably should have given it to the ball carrier, but hindsight's 20/20. Easy for me to say up here. So instead of a first down, McEachern going to be in a punting situation. It'll be their first punting situation of the night. Jonathan Rodriguez, who nailed a 48-yard field goal earlier, is back to punt. He'll be punting this in a way from about his own 30-yard line. Back deep for Langston Hughes is Giovanni McGee. Low snap. Rodriguez. High end-over-end punt. Going to take a McEachern bounce, and it's going to roll inside the 20, now inside the 15, and McEachern going to down it at about the 13-yard line. Guys, Georgia Farm Bureau stands for the values that make Georgia special. Be sure to go to their website at www.gfb.org to find an agent near you. In the South Fulton area, in Palmetto, your agents are Justin Moore, Frank Hall, and Lisette Romero. Again, that's Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsors of tonight's game and our season-long Game of the Week package here at ITG Next. Also, big thanks to our friends at Baker Sports, who want to welcome all football fanatics. Friday Night Lights 2023 is finally here. We've been waiting for it. It's here. Friday Night Lights 2023 brought to you by Baker Sports and Pro Sports. Together, serve as your one-stop destination for top-quality sports equipment. Whether you're a player or a passionate fan, Baker's has got you covered. Remember to call Baker's at 904-388-8126 for all your sporting good needs. Now, sit back and enjoy the rest of this gridiron spectacle of a game. All right, so here we go. You got Langston Hughes. They trail it 9-7. Air Nolan going to hand it off. First man through. Big running room. Penalty flag. Let's see what we get. Flag thrown right there at the 30. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see what we get here. I'm looking for the white hat. See if I can get the call. I'm guessing it's on Hughes, and I'm guessing it's a hold as Hughes is retreating. But I don't know. Now they're going to mark it off.
We have a holding on the offense.
Okay, it is holding on the offense. So they just had to, I guess, reset from the original line of scrimmage. Now they're going to mark it off. I was wondering why they were marking it up. That's why I was so confused there. So now they mark off the penalty yards. And we'll replay first down, and it's a spot foul. So it looks like it's going to be about 1st and 13. Back at the 15-yard line. Hughes has got it. They trail at 9-7. We're late in the quarter. Aaron Nolan right across the middle. It hit him in the hands, and it bounces off incomplete. He put it right in the hands of Giovanni McGee, the junior wide receiver, but he couldn't hang on to it. That's a couple of drops for these Langston Hughes receivers tonight as we are late here. Into the first quarter, almost gone. McEachern leads at 9-7. A little bit of a surprise for some of you. McEachern's got a good football team. They showed that last week against Brookwood. Handoff left side as the quarter comes to an end. As the run, that time from Justice Savage off the left side. is going to bring up third down and about 1 yard needed for the first when the second quarter resumes, or the second quarter gets underway and the game resumes, because that is the end of the first quarter of play. With your score, McEachern leads it 9-7 over Langston Hughes. I'm Phil Jones, your play-by-play man tonight. I want to remind everybody we're going to be bringing you these live streams all season long. Next week, we're going to be in Tift County to bring you the Tift County Blue Devils as they host the Colquitt County Packers. That should be a good one. We got great games for you all season long featuring the Beaufort Wolves, Colquitt County, Lowndes High Vikings. A lot of good games this year. North Cobb at Marietta in 2 weeks. Carver at Beaufort, Carver, Atlanta. That ought to be a good one. We'll be at McEachern on September the 22nd to bring you Valdosta at McEachern. On October the 5th, we'll get our first look at Juju Lewis and Carrollton as they go to East Coweta. But tonight we are in Fairburn, South Atlanta, South Fulton County, where it is hot. And so far, McEachern has been hot. They lead at 9-7, but Langston Hughes, you can tell they're starting to pick up a little momentum. They've got it third and a yard as we're going to begin the second quarter of play with Langston Hughes, 3rd and 1 with the ball just outside their own 20. We had a running play, but we had whistles. I think we're going to get a false start on Hughes. Let's check the call. False start on Hughes, so that's going to make it 3rd and 6 now. So we've had a few penalties that have marred the game so far tonight. And here we go. 3rd down, about 6 now needed. We're just underway in the second quarter. In fact, no time off the clock yet. Full 12 minutes left to go here in the first half with McEachern leading it 9-7. Aaron Nolan wants it. He's got it. Looks, throws, near side. Man complete. He makes the tackler miss. He's streaking down this near sideline. And now they're going to bring him out of bounds at about the, check the spot, going to be at about the 38-yard line. Big play that time by Langston Hughes. Boy, there you see the talent of Aaron Nolan. Found Jabari Jones open, a lot of yards after the catch that time.
Pass completed to number 2.
Here's a short pass complete to Giovanni McGee.
We have a flag on the
And we've got yet another penalty flag on the play. Let's check the call. Check that call and see what we get here.
face mask on the defense.
And we have a face mask is the call. Face mask the call on McEachern. All right, going to go to some of your comments now. I want to hear from you guys.
Waiting for the Panthers.
Let me hear from you guys tonight. We'll read your comments live on the air tonight for all of you watching along the way. Handoff, I think that's Savage.
Rush on the play.
And look at him just driving.
Rush on the play by number 11, Dorian Page.
Now, let's see, that was number 11, Dorian
That
Page, who got it.
Panthers. First down!
And as you can probably hear the PA man, he indicates that is a first down. So let me hear from you guys tonight. Who's watching the game tonight? Want to hear from you guys. Who are you rooting for? Where are you watching the game from tonight? Who's your favorite team? What do you think about the game so far as we go to a timeout with McEachern leading it 9-7? Does the Indians' 2-point lead surprise you? Again, a big thank to our sponsors. Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance sponsoring our games all season long. Don't forget, at the end of the game, I'm going to announce one player from each team as the player of the game presented by Baker Sports. And those players are going to each receive a pair of shoulder pads from Pro Sports and Baker Sports. Last week, we had Usmani Crow-Ma and Chase Reese, the players respectively from Lee County and Warner Robins. Who's going to get player of the game tonight? Be sure to stay with us until the very end where we'll announce, again, the Baker Sports player of the game. Maya says, "Go Panthers." Let me hear from you guys tonight. Let me know where you're watching the game from. Thanks so much for checking us out, our live stream here at ITG Next. All right, here's Nolan. Air Nolan. He is a good one. Split backs. One receiver far side. Now you get two here on the near. Nolan, play action. Going to dump it off. Complete. Going to make a man miss, now make another man miss. Going to take it inside the 10-yard line. Again, on the catch that time, and the run after the catch is Dorian Page.
And that pass is good enough for the Panthers. First down! First down and goal for the Panthers from the 6-yard line.
Gotta love an excited PA man. You know what? That's the kind of PA man I like, who calls the plays but does not call the play-by-play. That's my job. Run play right in the middle. Going to take it down close to the goal line. Going to be at about the 1-yard line. We can bring up second down and goal. McEachern, or rather the Langston Hughes coaches, just to our left. You may hear them during tonight's broadcast. Second down. Spotting it back at the 2 now is where they put it. So second and goal from the 2. Single back. They'll hand it to him. Nope. Play action. Air Nolan. He flossed the ball. Air Nolan loses it. It's on the ground. And, boy, fortunately for Hughes, they're going to fall on it, I think. And goodness gracious, near disaster that time. Panthers recover it, but it was ruled a fumble. Nolan, play action. He tried to throw it, slipped out of his hands. It was ruled a fumble. There was a scramble for the ball. Hughes recovers. Now, though, you've got third and goal, the ball at the 5. So let's see if you're a McEachern fan, if the Indians look for maybe a fade here. Let's see what we get. Nope, they're going to run it. Left side, touchdown.
And that's good enough for Panthers. Touchdown!
Untouched. Goes number 21, Justice Savage.
Panthers! Last run by number 21.
Justice Savage goes in for the touchdown. His first of the night. It comes at 9:51 of the second quarter. And it comes on a third down and goal from the 5. And here is Hughes now going to try the point after attempt. And we've got a man down. We've got a Hughes man that went down. Now he's back up, I think. He'll have to come off the field, though. And let's see. So, yeah, he's going to go for the point after. Point after attempt coming up by number 38, Ezekiel Cheers. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 9:51 to go in the opening half, after McEachern jumped out to a 9-0 lead, Langston Hughes has responded with back-to-back touchdowns. The first one coming on a 99-yard kickoff return from Dorian Page. And the second touchdown that time coming from number 21, Justice Savage, on a 5-yard scamper off the left side. He went in untouched. So we are 14-9. The ITG Next Game of the Week brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance and our friends at Baker Sports. Guys, if you're looking for car insurance, auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance, it doesn't matter. Your friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance has it all. To speak to an agent and to find an agent near you, it's real easy. Go to their website, www.gfb, that's for Georgia Farm Bureau.org, and you can enter your zip code or your town, and you can be able to find an agent near you. The South Fulton Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance Agency in Palmetto has agents Justin Moore, Frank Hall, and Lisette Romero. They're all waiting to talk to you. Kick return now. McEachern's return man going to take it out over the 35.
Made by number 8, Tori Arnold.
And again, let's keep an eye on this McEachern offense. In case you turned in late, McEachern already without their number one back, Division I prospect, sophomore Jerrion Campbell. And midway through the first quarter, DeMarcus Cleaves, who was running it at will, he went down with an injury, and he is still out. Tough break for McEachern. Kenny going to throw. Had a man wide open. He just could not hit him. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for number 3, Terry Wilson. Tough when you're missing 2 of your big rushing attacks, your 2 running backs, and you're trying to go against a team that is arguably one of the best, if not the best in the state, maybe except for Buford, and some people may even argue that. Pass complete. It's actually going to lose yardage, I believe, depending on the spot, or may have got it back to the line of scrimmage. Going to be 3rd down and 10. So a passing situation here for McEachern. 3 receivers here to the near side. There's one over here to the far side. The lone back in the game now for McEachern, Caden Johnson. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Looking for the play clock. McEachern going to get it off. Long throw down the middle. Incomplete. I'm going to get pass interference is going to be called on Hughes. There was 2 men back there. I thought it was pretty good defense myself, but the referee is going to say otherwise. And Hughes going to get called for a pass interference on the pass attempt down there, intended for number 4, Robert Eccles, senior wide receiver. Brandon Williams checking out the game tonight. Alexander Smith Jr. is watching from Springfield, Illinois. Guys, thanks so much for checking out our live stream here at ITG Next. We hung out with Prentice Air Nolan a couple of years ago. It's something we do with different players. We just go hang out with them and get some behind-the-scenes footage and the Nolan family. All right, we got a flea flicker here now from McEachern. Halfback pass, and it's going to come up way short of the intended receiver. So Hughes trying to pull out the stops here on a first down flea flicker halfback pass. Second down. Kenny, the quarterback, looks over to the McEachern sideline for the play. His receivers also looking over there, and they're ready to go. Man in motion, that's the big tight end. He'll line up over there on the wing, handoff, up the middle. A little bit of running room, but not much. Again, handoff going to number 12, Caden Johnson.
Gain of 3 on the play, 3rd down and 7 for the Indians.
So McEachern now, if anything, they want to obviously pick up a first down here, try to hang on to the football. Langston Hughes wants to force a punting situation. 8:37, 8:36 to go, first half, with Langston Hughes leading at 14-9. Hughes going to use as much time here off the clock. They'll let that play clock run down as far as they can before they snap it. And here we go. 3rd down, about 7 needed. Kenny looks, going to throw it. Batted down, incomplete. Number 40, Jamon Whitaker.
Jamon Whitaker
knocks that one down. Got his big paw up there. Boy, I tell you, this Langston Hughes team, Coach Boone told me when we did the Langston Hughes 2023 team preview, like we did most of the teams around the state this year. We always do that. Coach Boone told me, said, we got most everybody back on defense. Feel good about that. It was the offense he was a little worried about. That's where most of the losses came this past year to graduation. But I got to tell you, this Langston Hughes team looks pretty darn good. Here's McEachern now running a player on late punting situation. And McEachern, I think, is going to be called for a delay. Moving back 5 yards, still 4th down. They'll mark off the penalty now. Goes from 4th and 7 to 4th and about 12. 8:15 to go in the second quarter with Langston Hughes leading at 14-9. Rodriguez hit a 48-yard field goal earlier in the game. He punts it away. Ball is going to kick out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Hughes coaches thinking that may have been interference, not allowing the Langston Hughes return man to catch the football. But no penalty on the play. Guys, let us hear from you tonight on our live stream. Let us know where you're checking out the game from. Kevin Mason checking out the game tonight says, hey, y'all. What's up? Sam Hill watching tonight. A lot of people talking about recruiting this, recruiting that. Somebody put it pretty well, though. Guys, let me tell you, the Buford campus, and I know people have said this and that. By the way, we enjoy a great relationship with Buford High School athletics, and please check out the couple of different documentaries we've done on Buford. I was up there for spring practice. We had Coach Brian Appling mic'd up for the spring game at Norcross. Buford's always been great to us for having us and allowing us to document their great program. And just let me tell you this, and someone else here on the watching tonight's stream said it best. Buford's facilities, its coaching staff, it recruits itself. They don't have to do anything, and they have strength in numbers from the metro counties that they pull from, their school district pulls from, so they don't really have to do much of anything. People want to come to Buford, and that's the way it is. All right, so here we go. Langston Hughes now going to take over. They've got it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Air Nolan, a little pitch. I think that's Savage. Let's
Rush on the play.
check his number.
On the play, 2nd down and 9.
Got about a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. Justice Savage, man, he is a good one. There's a bunch of good ones on this Langston Hughes team. We are live here in Fairburn, home of the Panthers. Thankfully, it is beginning to cool down from 98 to about 90 right now. Handoff.
Rush on the play.
Going to take it up to about the 35-yard line. Again, that's number 21, Justice Savage on the carry. Corey DeGood Blair says, man, talk about Creekside game tomorrow at Morehouse College.
We have a flag on the play. False start on the offense.
Annette Smith says her grandson plays drum in the band at Langston. Let's give that man a shout out. Penalty flag on Hughes, going to push him back. We're under 7 minutes to go, 6:54, 6:53. 3rd down and 6 for the Panthers. Air Nolan takes it, looks, going to roll, going to throw. Man, wide open.
Number 17 in that pass is good enough for a
Going to drive him out of bounds. Boy, breakdown there on the McEachern defense. They left Langston Hughes, Brandon Gates wide open. That was an easy toss and catch that time by Air Nolan to Gates, and that's going to give the Panthers an early 1st down. Air Nolan with it, and they're going to bring him down, quarterback sack. I think that's the 2nd time tonight they've gotten Air Nolan on a sack. That was Andrew Ruffin on the quarterback sack that time. Nolan, again, we've seen him 2 rare sacks tonight. Looked like he just was a little indecisive on where to throw the ball, but you know what? He's a great quarterback. Got to trust his instincts. Running play, Savage, not much. Going to take it to about the 41-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and a mile. Passing situation here for Langston Hughes. 3rd and about 13. They got to get it to the McEachern 46. Hughes leads it 14-9. 5:20 to go in the 1st half. 5 minutes, 20 seconds left. Now 5:17, 5:16, 5:15. Clock continues to run. On 3rd and 13 for Hughes. 2 receivers far side, 1 here to the near side. Split backs for Air Nolan. Changing the play. Nolan getting the call. Now they're going to have to take a timeout. Going to have to take a timeout. That'll give us a chance to tell you about our friends. One of our sponsors, of course, both our sponsors tonight, Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Baker Sports and Pro Sports are proud to be the presenting sponsor between McEachern and Hughes tonight. Athletes and fans alike, between Bakers and Pro Sports, you can get your gear covered from cheerleading to football to fans. We are a one-stop shop for top quality sports apparel and equipment. Call us at 904-388-8126 for all of your sporting goods needs. And I want to thank our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Georgia Farm Bureau stands for the values that make Georgia so special. You can check out www.gfbinsurance.com or www.gfb.org. Either one will take you to your nearest agent in the city, the county that you live in, or near you. If you're a Hughes fan, It's the South Fulton office, located just down the road in Palmetto. Again, big thanks to our sponsors, Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Somebody asking if Baker Sports has Speed Flex parts. I don't know. That's a good question for our friends at Baker Sports. Going to have a false start, I believe, on Hughes. I thought McEachern had jumped there, but no, it's going to be a false start. So a little bit of a strange game. McEachern jumps out with all the momentum early. But, guys, lightning strikes twice. It hit McEachern last week early in the Brookwood game. It's hit him again tonight, and I'm talking about the injury bug. McEachern wanting to blitz here. Let's see what we're going to get. I think McEachern jumped off, went across, but let's see. It may be Langston Hughes on a false start. I don't know. No, it's going to be another false start on Langston Hughes. Wow. Getting a little sloppy here tonight. Now, they seem to be in command. They're being able to run the football and pass the football. Aaron Nolan looking good tonight, as he always does. But in betwixt all that is penalties, costly penalties. So 3rd and about 23. Let's see if Panthers can pick it up here. They're going to run it on a toss sweep, or a jet sweep, rather, and they're going to get a couple of yards. So Hughes decides we're not going to air it out. We're going to just run it, be conservative, and let our defense handle things. So we're under 5 minutes to go in the opening half with Langston Hughes leading at 14-9. Clock runs 4:26, 4:25, 4:24. We'll let you enjoy the halftime entertainment with the bands tonight at halftime while yours truly gets a nice cold soft drink. Here's the snap, the punt, low line drive kick. Going to take a heck of a Panther bounce. Return man for McEachern going to pick it up. Going to get away from one man, but not the second man. That's number 3 for McEachern, Daniel James on the return. Going to take it out to about the 35. And that's where McEachern going to put it in play. They trail at 14-9, so scoreboard-wise, it's still anybody's game. But I was talking about earlier, for McEachern, they have been hit 2 weeks in a row early to their top 2 running backs. Last week, it was top running back, sophomore Jerrion Campbell, who went down early in the Brookwood game. And tonight, it was his backup, number 2 back, DeMarcus Cleaves, who went down and is yet to return. Handoff left side, big run. Going to go for a first down, number 12. That's Caden Johnson, their 3rd running back in the rotation. They're having to call on him now. And he's going to run it for 11.5 yards and a McEachern first down. They'll stop the clock, move the chains. 3:32, 3:31, 3:30 to go in the opening half with Langston Hughes leading at 14-9. Kenny, the quarterback, in the gun. He'll take it. They're going to keep it on the ground. There's another nice run. They're just now gashing this Langston Hughes defensive front. Again, going to go to Caden Johnson, who has taken over the primary rushing duties tonight for McEachern. after DeMarcus Cleaves went down earlier with a lower leg injury. 2nd down, 5 needed for the first after the gain of 5. 2 receivers, either side, 1 back. Kenny going to throw it, far side, complete, wide receiver screen. He'll take it for a 1st down, I think. It is a 1st down, going over midfield. A nice play call by the McEachern coaching staff. That's going to move the chains. That's going to give McEachern a 1st down. 2:27, 2:26, 2:25. McEachern trying to take the lead here with the ball just over midfield, but a nice drive from the Indians here. Trips stacked on that far side, 1 receiver here to the near side. Long snap count. Now you got to like the strategy by McEachern. They're going to run as much play clock as they can. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter, the opening half, with McEachern trailing at 14-9. Running play. Penalty flag. Probably going to get a hold on McEachern. Handoff that time to Caden Johnson. Check the penalty flag. Going to be a hold on the Indians. Guys, don't forget, if you love high school football, and all of you do, be sure to check out my show every Monday at 5 o'clock, live, right here at ITG Next Facebook Live. It's Extra Point with yours truly, Phil Jones. I talk about high school football all across the state of Georgia. We'll talk about the rankings. Take a look at my pick 6. I picked 6 games across the state. And I picked the score. See if we can get an update on how my pick 6 is doing tonight. As we'll check some scores at halftime, and we'll let you check out the halftime entertainment tonight from the marching bands. Running play that time. Going to go for about a yard, and that's about it. Langston Hughes going to use a timeout here. They want to stop the clock. They want the ball back. Timeout, 1:38 to go. Let's see who's watching the game tonight. Gary Tate says time to blitz and push them back. Justin Jameson watching the game tonight. Sean J. Big Day-Day White. What's up, Day-Day? Day-Day always checks out Extra Point. I appreciate that, Day-Day. Day-Day with Fear None High School Football. Great site. Gives you all you need to know when it comes to high school football. Guys, be sure to check us out here at ITG Next. We give you 2 great newsletters every week. You can go to itgnext.com and subscribe. Comes to your email inbox free, and we give you a chock full of stuff. Rankings, who's the top quarterbacks in the state, who we think's the top running backs in the state. Again, we give you the top 25 rankings, classes A through 3A, and the top 25 ranking class 4A through 7A, our 2 composite top 25 rankings from yours truly. Go ahead. I can take the criticism. I hear you. It's all right. I'm a big boy. McEachern, little pass, complete across the middle. And they're going to knock him out of bounds after a short gain. Crossing route that time, complete to Keenan. Well, actually, that's Cam Traylor on the catch and the run after the catch. Corey DeGood Blair says, let me come in and talk football with you on Mondays. I can be like Shannon Sharp on ESPN. I love it. Chris Sellers, thanks so much for the update. Bainbridge 7-7 on coffee. Rosser Sutherland, what's up, Rosser? Checking in from Northcutt Stadium. We'll be there a couple of weeks. Marietta leads West Forsyth 13-2. Say what? All right, here we go. 47 seconds, 46, 45. Big play here, 3rd and long. Kenny looks, fires, complete Goodness gracious. Right at the first down marker. I think he's going to be a little bit short.
4th down and a long one.
He is going to be short. Actually, a little bit further than I thought. Going to be short by a couple of yards. So what does McEachern do here? 4th and 2, you're at the 40 of Langston Hughes. By going out, it's 38 seconds left, guys. What do? Surely McEachern's not going to go for a long field goal, are they? They're going to punt it, and I think this is the right thing to do. Try to punt. Langston Hughes back deep. Will we dare see McEachern fake a punt here? I don't think so. Rodriguez has got quite a foot, though. They are going to fake it. It's a fake punt. And I think he's going to be short. McEachern rolls the dice. They're going to fake the punt. I think they're going to come up about a half yard short. Wow. Corey to good Blair, they didn't go for it, but Rodriguez jumped up like the ball was sailing over his head, had me faked out. They faked the punt. Kareem Reed says, we got nothing to lose. They're going to bring the chains over and measure. I think they're a little short. But we'll find out. Let's see what we get. They're going to bring the chain gang across from the visitor side of the field, and you can watch with me as they stretch it out. Sean Perry putting the camera right on it for you. Let's see what we get. They're short.
It is short. It is the Panthers' ball. 1st down and 10 for the Panthers.
Now, let's see if that backfires on McEachern. They decide to fake it on 4th and about 2.5. They got 2 yards, but they needed 2.5, guys. They come up a half yard short. Now, with 31 seconds left, here comes this powerhouse of an offense led by one of the best quarterbacks in the United States of America in Prentice Eric Nolan. Let's see if they just try to air it out here and get this thing down the field. Why not? They'll take over at their own 39-yard line with 31 seconds left. They lead at 14-9. Here we go. Aaron Nolan in the gun. Takes the snap. Looks. Heavy rush. Throws it long downfield, and he overthrew everybody. Aaron Nolan had a corner blitz, and I think Aaron Nolan saw that coming, and he got rid of it, and I don't blame him. There was a McEachern Indian coming off the edge with a full head of steam right in Air's face. Corey DeGood Blair tells us this is normally when Air goes for for a big play. Is it Chi or Chai? Corey, help me out. Corey Benton says Air going deep. He was right. All right, here we go. Let's see if they bring the blitz again. It worked that time. Long throw. Look out. Referee goes down. The ball way overthrown. Timing a little off on that play. Incomplete. Let's see if the referee is okay. Referee goes down. He gives the thumbs up, saying, I'm okay. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I have been calling high school football for a long time. This is as hot as I can ever remember it. Ever.
3rd down and 10 for the Panthers.
And I usually don't whine, and I'm not whining. I'm just telling you like it is. Running play. Look out. Big run. Tackle made up close to midfield. Make sure everybody's okay. That was a big hit. Got a man down on the Hughes sideline. They're going to help him up now. He's right on the Hughes sideline with the Hughes coaches, so he's in good hands there. Coach Daniel Williams Boone, one of the greatest guys in high school football. Love that guy. Great man, great friend.
1st down and 10 for the Panthers.
I want to thank him and Mr. Willie Cannon for having us here tonight at Hughes. Beautiful campus, beautiful facility. These are great folks. Tasha Mack says pass interference on the ref. I love it. All right, so we are at 15 seconds. 1st and 10, the ball right at midfield. Here comes, if you got Aaron Nolan going to throw on a couple long here. Let's see what he does. Short drop, looks, heavy rush. Nolan going to get out of it. Nolan. Now he's just going to slide down. Aaron says, hey, I'm going to Ohio State. I'm not risking getting hit in a non-region game. I'm going to slide down. That's exactly what he does. And that will bring an end to the first half of play. And I got to be honest with you. If you're a McEachern fan, you're right here in this thing. You led 9-0. Hughes comes back with 2 touchdowns, 14 unanswered. And the Langston Hughes Panthers leads it 14-9 at the half. ITG next. Game of the week. Coming to you live tonight here in Fairburn at the Panther Stadium, home of Langston Hughes. Again, our game tonight and all season long, our ITG Next Game of the Week package brought to you by our friends at Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. All right, guys, welcome back. We are at Panther Stadium here on the campus of Langston Hughes. ITG Next Game of the Week between the Hughes Panthers and the McEachern Indians, where Hughes leads it 14-9. Our halftime recap brought to you by Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. McEachern took the opening kick, and after a short kick and a good return, they're able to drive it 67 yards, mostly behind the running of DeMarcus Cleaves. In fact, it was a 12-yard touchdown run by Cleaves that put McEachern up top 6-0. The extra point was blocked. Then, at 3 minutes 14 seconds left in the first quarter, McEachern elects to go for a 48-yard field goal attempt from Jonathan Rodriguez, the junior kicker, and he nails it from 48 yards out. That put McEachern up 9-0. 3:14 left to go in the first. But on the ensuing kickoff, you knew the Panthers wouldn't stay down for long, and they didn't. Dorian Page takes the kick at the 1-yard line, and he outraces the entire McEachern special teamers all the way to the house, 99 yards. The extra point was good. That made it 9-7. That's how the first quarter would end. Then in the second quarter, Langston Hughes on a 5-yard touchdown run from number 21, Justice Savage. The extra point was good. That gave Hughes the lead, 14-9. That touchdown run comes at 9:51 of the second quarter. And that's where we stand as we get ready to begin the third quarter of play, with Hughes leading it 14-9. Your halftime recap presented by Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Guys, don't forget, at the end of the game, I will announce one player from each team as the player of the game, presented by Baker Sports. Each of those players will receive a pair of shoulder pads from Baker Sports. Mike Sorensen, I'm guessing your Cook Valdosta score is a joke. All right, here we go. The Panthers on the opening kick return.
Rush on the play by number 2. The return by number 2.
to a kick return that time by number 2, Giovanni McGee.
49-yard line.
Good return, taken all the way out close to midfield, and Langston Hughes starts in great field possession, 1st and 10 to start the third quarter. Surely that Valdosta Cook score is not right. Mike Sorensen says Cook 63, Valdosta 56. Mike, tell me that's a joke. Goodness gracious. Terrence Neal, thank you guys for the great job that you thank you for the kind words for the broadcasting job we're doing. Thank you for that, brother. We appreciate it. All right, here we go, guys. Air Nolan going to hand it to Savage. Spins away from one would-be tackler, but not from a second. Short gain, penalty flag on the play. Let's check the call. We may get a hold, but let's wait and see. We're just underway, second half. Thanks so much, guys, for being with us tonight. Mike Sorensen says, I'm going to check it again. Wow.
Personal foul on the Panthers.
We've got a personal foul called on Langston Hughes. That's going to be That's going to be a big one, 15 yards. We're not in a press box tonight, guys. We are in an oven. And I'm only partly joking. It is smoking hot in here. Trying to get as much airflow as we can while trying to maintain a reputable broadcast for you guys as well. Handoff, nothing doing. Although, wait a minute, still on his feet. I was a little premature in calling that play he did. Nice little scrappy run. Man, he's a tough back, isn't he? Justice Savage, a senior. Daniel Boone Williams. Man, he's a great guy. Love the guy. He's a great coach, great man. Willie Cannon, the athletic director for Hughes. Thank you guys for having us here at your beautiful facility for our ITG Next Game of the Week here in Fairburn. Okay, third down and long. Nolan rolls, looks, throws. Incomplete. So Hughes will be faced with a punting situation. So Langston Hughes on their first offensive series of the second half is going to be forced into a punting situation. Again, their threat thwarted by a 15-yard personal foul penalty during that drive, and that kind of killed the momentum. Okay, so here we go now. Hughes is going to be in a punting situation. Back deep or back to punt it is Xavier Tiller for the Panthers. Here's the snap. Kick. High punt. Taken by the return man. Larry, he's got some running room far side. And they're going to run him out of bounds.
Far side of bounds by number 42, Montrell Godley.
That was Terry Wilson over there. The return man, he is a Mr. Do-It-All for McEachern. And now McEachern will have fairly good field position for their first possession of the second half. Again, we're just underway. ITG Next Game of the Week. McEachern trails at 14-9. They've got the ball just underway, third quarter, 10:31 to go in the third. Running play, nothing doing. That was big number 6, Jordan Thompson, the senior defensive lineman who snuffed that one out. They'll give him a yard on that play. McEachern, without their top 2 running backs tonight, somehow they're staying in this game. They only trail it by 5, 14-9 your score. Kenny going to take it, play action, throws across the middle. Pass was tipped, incomplete.
Jacob God.
Pass is incomplete. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the McEachern Indians. Buford is down 7-0 at half. Wow. Shockers all over the place. What a season it's already been, just the second week, guys. How about Cedar Grove going down last night in South Florida? Milton goes down in South Florida. ITG Next was there, by the way. We are all over the place. South Florida, Atlanta, doesn't matter. Kenny being chased out of the pocket. Going to look. He's going to try to run it. Tiptoes down the sideline. I tell you, he got close to the first down. He's going to be about a yard short, is Kenny. Now, what does McEachern do? We've already seen Kareem Reed, the Riverboat Gambler tonight, went for a fake punt earlier on 4th down. Now he's got 4th and about a half a yard at the Langston Hughes 47. I go for this if I'm him, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to go for it. Kenny going to go up under center. They're going to do a quarterback sneak, and he'll have the first down. Wow. First down for McEachern. Big push, and McEachern just pushed their way literally to a first down. Kareem Reed, no doubt about that one, no hesitation. He went right away with a quarterback sneak, put Kenny under center, and they went for it, and they got it. 3 receivers, near side, 1 to the far side. They're going to run it. Running room, look out. Here's McEachern. Nice run to the Hughes, 36. And right now, you can feel a shift in this momentum back toward McEachern as they go with no huddle. McEachern going to go with no huddle. Again, playing short-handed. Both their number 1 and number 2 running backs are out with injuries. Their number 1 running back went out early in the first game. Their number 2 running back went out early in this game. Somehow they're sticking around in this one. Hand off to the number 3 back. Going to go close to a first down. Let's check his forward progress. He's right at the marker. That's number 12 on the carry. And they will give him the mark, and they will give him the first down. It's a first down for McEachern. Don't look now, but here come the Indians. McEachern, first down, their first offensive possession of the second half, third quarter. They trail at 14-9. McEachern, 2 receivers, far side, 2 here near side, both stacked, 1 back off the left hip of Kenny. Long, they're going to let play clock run here. Now they'll snap it. Quick toss. He dropped it. Number 9, the receiver, tried to run with it before he had it. It bounced off his face mask, incomplete. Intended over there for Caden Peterson, the senior wide receiver. Thanks so much for everybody watching tonight. Let me know where you're checking out the game from. Where are you? In the Atlanta area, Middle Georgia, you're in a different state. We'll be bringing you the Colquitt County Packers and Tift County Blue Devils next week. They're going to go back to, no, they are. Well, I was all fooled on that one. I thought they were going to hand it. Then I thought it was a play action. The quarterback, Kenny, decided to keep it. I don't know if that was a call play or a busted play. The bottom line is it was a nothing play. And it's going to be 3rd and long. Now McEachern, who was running it with a little bit of momentum, has stalled with 2 plays that have gone for naught. 7:30, 7:29, the clock runs, 3rd quarter, 3rd and 13 from the Langston Hughes 35. McEachern slowly up to the line in a passing situation, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him run it. They will run it. They'll bring him down just inside the 35. Now, will they reach for another long field goal? Rodriguez booted a 48-yarder earlier. This one would be, I don't know, this one would be 50-something yards. That may be out of his range. They're going to go for it. McEachern leaving the offense in there. McEachern offensive coordinator calling in the play, signaling in the plays. Kenny now motioning to all of his players what the call is. 4th and 12 at the Langston Hughes 34. 2 receivers to either side. Kenny going to roll. Looks, throws. Incomplete. He threw it too high. Kenny did. Incomplete. And the ball will go over on downs. So what was a fruitful-looking offensive possession for McEachern instead will bog down, and it's a turnover on downs, and Langston Hughes going to take over. Terrence Neal is checking us out from City of South Fulton. I hear you, brother. Mitchell Crew is in the ATL watching us. Corey, the good Blair, I'm at Morehouse parking lot. He's waiting for the big Creekside game. I hear you. You're getting an early start on that tailgate, aren't you? Big run. Savage that time with about a 7-yard gain. So look for Langston Hughes to try to start gashing this McEachern defensive front, try to wear them down, try to drive it down, and another touchdown may put this thing out of reach. McEachern just doesn't have much offensive firepower, missing their top 2 running backs. Short gain after about 1.5 yards, that time on the short run by Savage. Tasha Mack is in Buford, Georgia. I love it. Missy Marth Castle is watching in Michigan. Monquez King Grissom is in Seattle, Washington, watching us. It's the beauty of the internet. The great Northwest. I love it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. All right, here we go. Langston Hughes. 3rd down and short. Penalty flag will bring them back. That hurts. Hughes has shot themselves in the foot tonight with penalties. 3rd down and 6 now. We're 5:32, 5:31, 5:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Hughes leads at 14-9. The defending Class 6A state champions, they won 16 in a row. Air Nolan looks, throws. Penalty flag. I think this is going to be an illegal formation on Hughes. Wait for the call. I think we've got Hughes on a illegal formation. Wait for the call. Waiting for the white hat to call this one. Let's see what we get. Illegal formation. They're going to say a false start. So it's a false start. I thought it might have been an illegal formation, but it's a false start. What was 3rd and 1 with 2 consecutive 5-yard penalties is now made it 3rd and 11. All right, here we go now. You've got Langston Hughes, 3rd and 11. Back there on 33. 4:53, 4:52, clock running in the 3rd. Man in motion comes from right to left. Air Nolan, one of the best in the country. Southpaw takes it. Screenplay. And McEachern going to snub it out. Nothing doing. Great defensive pursuit by McEachern. Making the tackle for the Indians that time was number 7. Cannon White. So McEachern will hold. McEachern went for it on 4th down, not able to make it. But their defense, in turn, holds. They had a little bit of help, though, with a couple of Langston Hughes penalties. And now Langston Hughes is going to have to punt this one away. Boy, you just got to wait for a big special teams play that could bust this thing open. I'm sure McEachern fans would love something like that here. Here's the kick. Fair catch called for and taken at the 37-yard line. And that's where McEachern will put it in play. 3:47 to go in the third quarter. The Indians still in this thing. They only trail at 14-9. That'll give us a chance to tell you about our sponsor. One of our sponsors, Baker Sports. Welcome all football fanatics. Friday Night Lights 2023 is finally here. Brought to you by Baker Sports and Pro Sports. Together serve as your one-stop destination for top quality sports equipment. Whether you're a player or a passionate fan, Baker's has got you covered. Remember to call Baker's at 904-388-8126 for all your sporting good needs. Now enjoy this gridiron spectacle of a game. And here we go. Short gain on the short pass that time from McEachern. Actually, now they'll say no gain. Got a Langston Hughes player down. It's like cramping. And it is a hot one tonight, guys. I mean, smoking hot. Guys, I want to remind you about our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance has an agent near you. Just go to their website, www.gfb.org, to find an agent near you. In South Fulton, it's Justin Moore, Frank Hall, and Lisette Romero, your agents at the South Fulton Georgia Farm Bureau Agency. Don't forget, at the end of the game, yours truly is going to be announcing a player of the game. I'll announce one player from each team. That's the player of the game presented by Baker Sports. These players will each receive a pair of shoulder pads from Baker's. So be looking for that. And who do you guys think should be the player of the game based on what we've seen so far? Of course, it ain't over yet. All right, here's McEachern after the injury timeout. They've got it second down and 10. 3:15 to go here in the third quarter. Kenny is the quarterback. He'll take it. Going to hand off, not much, maybe a yard as they drive the backwards now. Again, number 12, Caden Johnson on the carry.
First one there for the Panthers, number 40, Jamon Whitaker.
All right, going to bring up third and long now for McEachern. McEachern has not really had a lot of success tonight trying to pass the football. The vast majority of their yards has come on the ground tonight. Again, doing it with their number 3 running back. 3 receivers near side, one on the far side for the Indians. Snap, Kenny looks, throws here. Again, another high pass. Incomplete, just can't set his feet and can't get off a good pass. He has sailed a lot of those high tonight. And there's another one overthrown. That will stop the clock at 2:16 to go in the third quarter, and McEachern, again, going to have to punt it away. Rodriguez, who hit a 48-yard field goal earlier in this game, is back to punt. Guys, if you got any scores, love to hear from you tonight. I want to try to get something on that Valdosta Cook game. I heard an astronomical score earlier. I don't know if that was right. Punt's going to roll out of bounds. McEachern going to make sure it goes out of bounds right about the 20-yard line, and that's where Langston Hughes is going to put it in play. Tasha Mack is spot on. Steal number 11 for Langston. That return changed the momentum, and the other team steal the running back that went down. I'm with you. Those are two good recommendations from Tasha Mack. She's been all over this game. Corey DeGood Blair agrees, says whoever ran the kickoff back for Langston is the player of the game for Hughes. Thank you guys for your suggestions. Again, let me hear from you guys on who you think the player of the game is tonight.
First on the play by number 11, he breaks up the middle.
Big play, look out.
Here goes, oh, no.
Just like that. Dorian Page. Yep, that's who you were talking about. And there he is again. Dorian Page, who took it 99 yards earlier, just took it 80 yards on a run play from scrimmage on first down. And that increases the Hughes lead to 20-9. Point after attempt now. Will come from Ezekiel Cheers. Hold at the 10-yard line. Here's the snap. The hold. The kick is up. And it is good. 21-9. Langston Hughes has increased their lead now, 21-9. Remember, they were down 9-0 in this game, but they have responded with 3. Twenty-one to 9, your score now. ITG next, game of the week in favor of the Panthers right now. Short kick taken, and let's see here. Going to go out of bounds at around the 20, let's see where they'll spot this. 26-yard line is where they'll spot it. Shields giving y'all a little bit of my musical taste tonight. Man's got to do what he's got to do. 21-9 the score. 1:54 left to go in the third. The ITG next game of the week. Next week we get a look at the Colquitt County Packers. All right, here we go. Hughes going to try to get back in this thing. It's a reverse. Got a little bit of running room out here on the corner. Going to take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Gain of about 13, 14 yards. And that's a first down for McEachern.
Call your ride. Once again, scholars, it is now time to call your ride. Let your parents know the score is 21-9. Langston Hughes Panthers are ahead, but it is now time to call your ride.
All right, here we go. First down. Love the comments coming across tonight, guys. Keep them coming. Kenny throws. Again, another tip pass, incomplete. I think McEachern maybe, I got to check the stats, 1 or 2 completions, and I think that was on screens. But, hey, McEachern has stayed in this game. They've stuck around with a strong running game, and, again, they've done it with only their number 3 three-tier running back, their top 2 running backs gone to injury. We were hoping to see number 24, DeMarcus Cleaves, return. He was filling in for their number 1 back, Jerrion Campbell, who went out early in the Corky Kill Classic game last week in the Brookwood game. So tough sledding for Kareem Reed and his McEachern Indians so far. Second down, 15. Kenny, the quarterback, is in the gun here. You got 3 receivers. Now 2 receivers on the far side, 1 here on the near side. There's a running play. Look out. Shot out of there like a cannon. First down and more.
Tackle made by number 22.
Give McEachern and that young man credit.
Terrence Brown. That run is good enough for an Indians first down.
I mean, Caden Johnson has filled in admirably tonight, and he's run good. If I'm McEachern, I don't throw another pass. I just run the ball. That's been effective for them. Why not? The passing game has not worked. And they'll keep it on the ground. And just as soon as I say that, they lose a yard. That's okay. I'd still keep it on the ground. You know, guys, when the game of football was invented, the passing game, or the forward pass, was not supposed to be a part of the game. And it was not a part of the game for a long time. We have an injured player down. Give us a chance to tell you about our sponsors of tonight's game. Guys, want to thank our friends at Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau. Baker Sports and Pro Sports are proud to be the presenting sponsor between McEachern and Hughes tonight. Athletes and fans alike, between Bakers and Pro Sports, you can get your gear covered from cheerleading to football to fans. We are a one-stop shop for top quality sports apparel and equipment. Call us at 904-388-8126 for all of your sporting goods needs. And our sponsor, along with Baker Sports, is our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Georgia Farm Bureau stands for the values that make Georgia such a great state. Guys, be sure to go to their website, gfbinsurance.com, www.gfb, that's short for Georgia Farm Bureau, insurance.com. There you can look for and find an agent near you. Talk to them. Always been known for low rates, great coverage, great insurance, great service, guys. It's a great company, Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Want to thank them and Baker Sports for our season-long sponsorship of the ITG Next Game of the Week. All year long we've got them, and we appreciate their sponsorship. All right, okay, here we go. Second down and 12. We're 30 seconds to go in the third. McEachern is going to let the clock run here. They're not in any hurry. 25, 24, 23. They'll snap this as long as they can. I'm trying to find the play clock, and I don't see it. Wherever it is, they're going to snap this. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. They may let this thing run out if they can. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're not going to run another play. McEachern will let the third quarter expire. Third quarter comes to an end. McEachern fans, Langston Hughes fans on their feet with the four fingers extended saying, here we go. Fourth quarter, your score, Langston Hughes, 21. And the McEachern Indians, 9. All right, let's go to our folks watching the game. So, guys, if you got any scores, pass them along. What is that Walton score? If y'all got any scores, I'll take them. Now, we did see on the Valdosta Cook game My buddy Mike Sorensen had given us a pretty high score. I thought it may have been wrong. Bo Jones has given us Valdosta 23 to Cook, 23 to 6 over Cook. Buford is now 7 to 7. That's Mallard Creek. Gainesville goes up on Mountain View 26 to 7. Colquitt County up 37 to 14, says Nathan Sloan. Tasha Mack confirms for us that Buford, Mallard Creek score 7 to 7. Wow. A little surprised at that one, guys. Are you kidding me? Last night, Milton falls to Western. And you had Cedar Grove. Well, that defense of Coach Adams and Cedar Grove giving up a lot of points in their first two games. As we are underway, first play of the fourth quarter. By the way, ITG Next was in South Florida. We had the Milton and the Western coaches mic'd up last night. You'll be able to see those highlights coming up in the next week or so. And we look forward to bringing you those. Corey, the Good Blair, says now Valdosta 23 to 6. Chris Sellers says that Bainbridge Coffee score has been at 16-14 for a while now. Here we go. Third down and long for McEachern. Kenny going to throw, and another high pass is intercepted.
Interception.
Kenny's passes have been too high all night long. Another high pass, incomplete, and it's intercepted intercepted by Langston Hughes. Young quarterback, Kenny. Just all of his passes tonight overthrown. I'm sure that Kareem Reed and the McEachern coaching staff will try to get back to work with him. Chris Sellers, where is that Bainbridge Coffee game at in terms of time? Wow, look at Walton, 48-0. Great day. All right, so here we go. 11:15 to go in the game, just underway, fourth quarter. You've got Langston Hughes now taking over after the interception. They've got it. First and 10, they're on 46. Let's see if they try to go for the home run ball to put the dagger in this thing. No. Instead, it's going to be a direct snap. Direct snap to number 12, Jabari Jones.
Number 12, Jabari Jones.
So Air is not in the game right now. Air Nolan not in the game. 3 receivers, near side, one on the far side. They're going to the Wildcat here. Hughes direct snapping it. Short gain. And we've got it's like we got some extracurricular activities going on. We got McEachern and Langston Hughes players are going at it. Looks like we got a McEachern Indian player down. Not sure what happened. We had something develop down here in the left corner. Got a McEachern player that's hurt. I don't know what happened. It was out of our field of view. I was watching the play unfold. And something happened away from the play, way away from the play. Now you got the McEachern coaches are coming over to try to restore order. That happened over here on the Langston Hughes sideline. And, guys, it just underscores we saw
Scholars, it is now time to call your ride. Once again, Scholars, it is now time to call your ride.
We saw a little bit of a breakout of a fight. You guys remember that Buford game last week. an ugly scene. You just hate to see stuff like that at a high school football game. You know, you got to wonder, though, guys, it's hot as fire. These players are exhausted. Tempers, it's a physical game as it is. Tempers flare. And let's just hope these young men can keep order restored. Thomas County Central all over Thomasville, says Mike Sorensen, 38-7. Does anybody have anything on Houston County and Perry from Middle Georgia? I have not seen a thing on that. Looking for anybody that's got anything on Houston County. Bainbridge had a bad snap and another Coffee touchdown. Is it Coffee leading at 33-24? Somebody said, let me call my ride. All right, so we got the referees are talking to the coaches. And this is probably that point of the game where we're going to have some ejections. Still 10 minutes, 58 seconds left to go in the game. Again, from that last little brouhaha that we had down here in this left corner, way out of the play on the Langston Hughes sideline. I don't know what happened. I don't know really who was involved. But we are probably going to get, well, I know we're going to get a couple of ejections here. Travis Booker says, let me call my ride, Tasha Mack. Yeah, time for y'all to call your ride. Houston County is all over Perry. Mike Sorensen, give me a score on that one, brother. 21-14, Houston County up on Perry. Thank you for that. Brouhaha. I don't know why it's called that. Never have understood that. There shouldn't be anything funny about a fight, right? Brouhaha. Where'd that come from, Mr. Producer? All right, we are ready to get play underway here. Langston Hughes, big run. You kind of get the feeling like the Panthers are really in control here. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record, guys, and I apologize, but it's worth pointing out that, McEachern goes up 9-0. They lose again their number 2 running back, who was already in place or playing in place of the number 1 running back. And you just cannot sustain your normal offense. And last week, when their number 1 running back went down against Brookwood, McEachern had trouble scoring points the rest of the game. And it's like a exact same thing happening here tonight. In fact, it is exactly the same thing that has happened here tonight. Exactly. Running backs go down early in the game, and the offense stalls. Offense comes to a standstill. It happened last week against Brookwood. In fact, McEachern didn't score for the last quarter and a half last week in that Corky Kill Classic game against Brookwood. And tonight, after going up 9-0, they have not reached the end zone, really not close. Somebody wants to know where Savage is for Langston. I think he's back in there. Aaron Nolan looks, plenty of time. He lets it loose. Wide open, what a pass. Aaron Nolan with a dart. 45-yard strike. Aaron Nolan to Brandon Gates. That's why he's one of the best in the country, guys. On 3rd and long, Aaron Nolan was given plenty of time, and he just fired a 45-yard strike
To number 17.
to Brandon Gates.
Gates.
And that might just do it for Hughes. It comes at 9:07 of the 4th. Here's Cheers to try the point after. Here's the snap. No, it's somebody different now. Extra point, no good. No good. It was number 83. 83 is Ram Andrade in there to try the point after attempt. No good. But Langston Hughes, and boy, you'd think it was a fire drill here. I mean, everybody is filing out of this place. 27-9. Langston Hughes on top. Baker Sports and Pro Sports are proud to be the presenting sponsor between McEachern and Hughes tonight. Athletes and fans alike, between Bakers and Pro Sports, you can get your gear covered from cheerleading to football to fans. We are a one-stop shop for top quality sports apparel and equipment. Call us 904-388-8126. That's 904-388-8126 for all your sporting good needs. Also, a big thanks to our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. For an agent near you, www.gfb.org. Georgia Farm Bureau stands for the values that make Georgia so special.
Once again, scholars, it is now time to call your ride. You've been sweating all night. I know you're ready to go home, take a shower. Scholars, it is now time to call your ride.
Man, Aaron Nolan is so special. You know, they held him in check. Mike Sorensen gives us Buford up now 10-7. Aaron Nolan is just, you know, they kind of kept him bottled up a lot of the game. Aaron Nolan was sacked a couple of times. Not having your typical Aaron Nolan night, but he shows why he is the best with a 45-yard dart. And that's what it was a dart right on the money. Christian Smith wants to know, where's Giovanni McGee for Langston Hughes? I would imagine, guys, that he's probably done for the night. Now, he has been active tonight, very active. Another errant pass from Kenny, but in fairness, Kenny was under a heavy rush that time, throwing on the run, incomplete. 27-9. We're down to 8:24 to go in the football game here from Panther Stadium. Corey Benton says, get them shoulder pads ready for air. Well, I don't know. Who is going to be our player of the game? Guys, coming up here in just a little bit at the end of this game, I'm going to announce one player from each team as the player of the game, presented by Baker Sports. Each player is going to receive a pair of shoulder pads from Baker's. Right now, it looks like kind of hard to go against Dorian Page, guys.
The Indians have elected the punt.
He has had himself one heck of a night. Number 11, Dorian Page, a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, an 80-yard run from scrimmage for a touchdown. Unless something happens here in these last 7 minutes, I'm leaning toward Dorian Page as the Langston Hughes player of the game. Bo Jones says, you haven't commented on my beautiful baseball and softball field. Well, Bo, let me do that now as I look to the south. And the baseball and football fields, or I'm sorry, the baseball, softball fields are lit up. Beautiful that they are. I did say earlier, what a beautiful campus this is. This is my first visit to Hughes, by the way. Called a lot of games across the state. North, south, east, west. My first visit, hopefully not my last, though, here to Hughes. I want to thank friend, confidant, what a great man, Boone, Coach Daniel Boone Williams. I got to tell you guys, it was his arrival along with Prentice Air Nolan simultaneously that turned this thing around for Langston Hughes here. You guys know what I'm talking about that were Panther fans. Langston Hughes was 2-8 in 2019. 2-8. They were like number 7th in their region, Region 5-6A. 2020 is when things started to turn. 11-2, so they go from 2 wins to 11 wins. That's when they lost to Beaufort in the quarterfinals, 44-15. Finished as the number 2 seed in 4-6A. Then, of course, in 2021 is when it really started clicking. That was the 1-point loss in the touchdown, or in the, the state championship game to Beaufort.
6 minutes and 32 seconds.
And then, of course, last year it all came together. 15-0, 7-0 region record, 35-28 win over a pesky Gainesville team from Josh Niblett. And now, of course, Langston Hughes, barring an absolute collapse, will go to 2-0. An impressive win last week, and this is one where they've done what they've needed to do to get this one.
Pass completed.
Complete far side. Going to bring him out of bounds at about the 42, 43-yard line.
And 3 for the Panthers. Once again, scholars, it is now time to call your ride. Make sure that you head to the flagpole to wait on your ride.
Time to call that ride. Mr. PA announcer is doing his job to remind these kids here tonight. Big run, look out. There goes Justice Savage. Touchdown. It's a touchdown, Hughes. "58-yard touchdown run."
And the Panthers have opened up the score.
58-yard touchdown run. Justice Savage. That is his. So we've got a battle here. Wait just a minute. Savage, his second touchdown run tonight. So we've got a battle. Will you guys help me out on the player of the game? Justice Savage with 2 touchdown runs. You've got Dorian Page, 2 huge touchdown, or 2 touchdowns. One a 99-yard kickoff return and an 80-yard run. I'm still going with Dorian Page right now. Mike Sorensen gives us Carrollton 49-0 over South Paulding. Corey DeGood Blair, I think I'm with you, brother. It says number 11, that kickoff return was a game changer. I think I'm with you. Craig Grogan says Thunder and Lightning. Says we got the best 1-2 punch around, and I think you're right. Although Bo Jones says Savage. Both him and Dorian are great young men. Yes, they are. Tasha Mack says, got to get them kids home. I might as well tell them to call that ride. Kickoff taken at the 20, 25, 30. Fighting for yardage going over the 30. 33-9. McEachern led this thing 9-0 way back at the beginning of the game. Since then, Langston Hughes has taken advantage of a McEachern offense that really sputtered after their primary back went down early with an injury. Again, that was Cleves. And after that, McEachern really, and they've been able to run the ball at times, but have not been able to put it in the end zone, and that's the name of the game. Langston Hughes has found back, and on the heels of big plays, which has been the difference in this game, and that's what has won this thing for Hughes tonight. I said that's what it's won it for them. Again, barring an absolute miracle comeback, Langston Hughes will hang on with 5 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the game. Yes, I am reading the comments tonight. Yes, I am.
Incomplete pass intended for number 88. Second down and 10.
So somebody wants to know what number Giovanni McGee is wearing. He is number 2. Who does number 2 work for? Name that movie. Long bomb. Almost intercepted.
Almost intercepted by number 16, Jeffrey Taylor.
Way overthrown that time. Clock stops, 5:01. This might have been the hottest game I've ever attended, and I've been to some hot ones. You know, guys, I can remember when high school football started on Labor Day weekend. How many of you remember that? Running play, left side, not much. I can remember high school football started on Friday night of Labor Day weekend. College football started on that Saturday. The Falcons and pro football started on Sunday, and you'd have off work Monday. Best holiday weekend of the year.
Also, I would like to give a shout out to the cheerleaders.
Now you've got high school football starting in July. Good grief.
Back to return for the Panthers, number 16, Jeffrey Taylor.
Marcus Mariota. Goodness gracious. Bo Jones says, you ain't lying, like I rode a Thunder River before I left. Let me tell you, I have no telling how much sweat I have sweated out tonight in terms of pounds. Man, it is hot. I'm still sweating. All right, we're under 4 minutes to go in the game. McEachern punt down at the 35. That's where we're going to see Langston Hughes come in and take over, and they'll try to milk this lead and the clock away. So my players of the game, go ahead and announce our players of the game presented by Baker Sports. My player of the game for Langston Hughes is going to be Dorian Page. His 99-yard kickoff return was the play that got Langston Hughes on the board and really began to change the momentum that up until that time had been all McEachern. If you'll remember, McEachern led 9-0. Starting to see some of the younger guys now get into the game now. Number 34, that's Lamont Tucker on the carry. He's a sophomore. So my player of the game for Langston Hughes, I'm going to give it to Dorian Page. Again, 99-yard kickoff return. Gave Langston Hughes their first touchdown of the night, and it really kind of kick-started them on their way to this victory. Is Air still in the game at quarterback? I'm a little surprised. Handoff. Going to hand it to Turcavius Brown.
Brings us to a 3rd down and 1.
And so for
3
McEachern,
minutes left in the 4th quarter. Last
I'm going to
rush
give it.
by T.K. Brown.
I'm going to give it to. Let me see here. It's either going to be between Shamar Hall. I'm going to give it to Caden Johnson. Caden Johnson for McEachern. He came in as the number 3 running back and tried to carry this McEachern team on his back. And I tell you, he did his part.
It's 1st down.
He did his part, again, as the number 3 depth chart running back and had a good game. I don't have any stats, but I can tell you he really chewed away a lot of yardage going into the teeth of that Langston Hughes defensive line that
Rush on the plate.
has got some big-time playmakers, including Amir Glenn, the West Virginia-bound defensive lineman. Moore Shield says, who you like in the Rome-Carrollton game next week? Man, I got to tell you, that is a good one. I like Rome, to be honest with you. Corey DeGood Blair, man, thank you for that, buddy. I appreciate that. I hope you will be tuning in more often. Be sure to check out my show, guys. We have this same kind of fun every Monday at 5 o'clock. In fact, it's all y'all's comments, pretty much the whole show. What you guys want to talk about, I'll interact with you guys Monday, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And we'll talk about the games that happened tonight, over the weekend. We'll talk about who you think's the number 1 team in the state. Is it going to be Buford? Now, the question is, in my composite poll for Class A, AA, and AAA, who is going to be the number 1 team? Because Cedar Grove loses, and their defense has not looked good. Probably going to have to Will Morgan, can I pay you to air Atlanta Elite games? Probably have to talk to the boss about that. But thank you for offering. That's quite the compliment. There's my brother, Prime Time Gridiron. Prime Time. Prime Time. Prime Time. What's up, brother? Thanks for that, Mike. Mike's a regular on every Monday at 5 o'clock. We do have a blast.
Hey, put the brush on. Put the brush on. Put the brush on.
All right, so Langston Hughes now. Under a minute to go in the game, guys. We're under a minute to go. They're trying to tack on another one here. Throw. Throw is complete. Throw is complete to the 2-yard line. Here's Hughes now. 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, up to the line. Here's Aaron Nolan going to take it, going to toss it, complete, touchdown. But we got a penalty flag on the play. Check the call. Going to go against Hughes. .22 seconds left to go in the game. Prime Time Gridiron. What's up, brother? Good man there. Corey DeGood Blair. Are y'all covering Creekside game tomorrow? If not, I'm not coming to work Monday. No, man, we're not going to be there, brother. I'm going to get in some air conditioning somewhere. Hawk Flunoy tells us that Thomas County Central all over Thomasville, 45-7. Thanks again, guys, for all the great comments. I appreciate that a lot. We'll be broadcasting Colquitt County Packers, Tifton County Blue Devils next week. That'll be from Brody Field in Tifton in South Georgia. In fact, our lineup, real quick, I'll be happy to go over this, guys, with y'all. So next week, Colquitt Tift. Week 4 is Langston Hughes.
That run is good enough for a Panthers. Touchdown!
Takes it in for a touchdown. So another touchdown by Langston Hughes. Putting the icing on the cake. Mike Sorensen says, I'm still seeing Buford up 10-7. That's Mallard Creek. Buford wins it 10-7. How about that? Corey to Good Blair says, see you next time. My son is number 17 for Creekside. I'm going to make a note of that, Corey. R.J. Huff says, I like Douglas County to win state this year. That's noted. Yeah, Langston Hughes, second and third string is on the field, indeed. The ITG next game of the week takes you to Tifton County, Colquitt County at Tifton County next week. Week 4, North Cobb at Marietta. Northcutt Stadium. Week 5 will see us go to Buford to bring you Carver, Atlanta, and Buford. Week 6 on September the 22nd, we'll bring you Valdosta at McEachern. So we'll be at McEachern for that one, the Valdosta Wildcats and the Indians. So we got some pretty good games on tap for you guys over the next few weeks. So hope you'll tune in to the ITG Next Game of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Again, I want to announce the Baker Sports Player of the Game for each team is Dorian Page for Langston Hughes. And I'm going to give it to Caden Johnson for McEachern. Our players of the game will receive a pair of shoulder pads. A representative from Baker Sports will deliver them to those student athletes at their respective schools, and proud to outfit them. 14 seconds left to go in the game. Again, I want to thank you guys. Alexander Smith says, any games in Southeast Georgia? Mike, that's weird on that Valdosta game. That's odd. Alexander Smith, really, yes, we do have a game in Southeast Georgia. We'll be at Richmond Hill for the Lowndes Richmond Hill game on October the 27th. So there you go. Thank you, Bo. Appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We had a blast bringing it to y'all, you guys. Thank you for all the comments. Again, got some tempers flaring. Let's hope they can get in there and separate that. Guys, let's get out of here. Get these guys out of here, and let's be done with this.
And at the end of the game, the Langston Hughes Panthers 40.
And that is going to do it. Your final score tonight. Final score tonight, Langston Hughes 40 and McEachern 9. McEachern had a 9-0 lead in this game before Langston Hughes got on track and reeled off 40 unanswered to win it 40-9. A game that I guess you can argue was a little bit closer than the score indicated. Mike, we will see you Monday at 5. I want to invite everybody to see the show. Come visit us Monday at 5 o'clock right here. You're going to love it. Extra Point, yours truly. I'll sit in front of the camera. We'll have a blast. We'll talk football. We'll laugh. I'll read your comments. We'll have fun, just like we did tonight. Monday, 5 o'clock. Every Monday, 5 o'clock. Extra Point. Drew Swick joins me. Houston County's coach, Jeremy Edwards, joins me. 14 coaches total. You can check them all out. Tiff County's coach, Noel Dean. We check them. We talk to all these coaches. Yours truly talks with all of them every Monday and Tuesday. I start every Monday morning at 7:30. And you can hear these all these coaches talks with me every week. All right, guys, again, to recap, our players of the game presented by Baker Sports. Going to give it, again, to number 11, Dorian Page. What a big night he had for Langston Hughes. A couple of difference-making touchdowns that he scored. And for McEachern, again, got to give it to Caden Johnson, a scrappy senior running back who came in, tough circumstances, did his job, and he did. He did his job, running hard. And he gets the McEachern Game of the Week. Both those players will be presented with shoulder pads from Baker Sports, our player of the game presented by Baker Sports. Again, big thanks to Baker Sports. Big thanks to our friends at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance for sponsoring tonight's game and our games all season long. For Mr. Producer Sean Perry, I'm Phil Jones saying you guys have a great night. We're making the long track back to Valdosta. Be sure to join us Monday at 5 o'clock for Extra Point. Be sure to join us next Friday night for our ITG Next Game of the Week, Colquitt County at Tiff County. And then be sure to join us every Monday and every Friday. We'll have a blast. Thanks for joining us again, guys. You've been watching the ITG Next Game of the Week, brought to you by Baker Sports and Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Hope you guys have a great night. Have a great week.